Follow us at Shadow Star Games. Follow us today at ShatterstarGames.com.
Hi, this is Shatterstar Actual, Shatterstar Games. Right now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of Aaron Reed's book, XNA 4.0. Now, this is some of the introductory stuff, some of the more simpler and to the intermediate, some advanced game development coding for PC, Xbox, and also Windows Phone. Windows Phone, we don't have that many more Windows Phones still out here, but it still works for Windows Phone. And some of the C# stuff can go into Python and stuff like that. It has applets, but we're not going to get into that right now. For all intents and purposes, C# XNA 4.0 as the development pertains to PC and 360. Aaron Reed does a good book, and I really like it. Okay. This right here is basically where I was at here, and this, if you guys can see, is coding cameras. Okay. Coding, I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't look like it's focusing. But anyway, it says in the previous versions of the chapter, we created already a flying 3D camera. So basically, you're going to take that and we're going to change it to work for the other part of the game in the book. Okay, and if you want to keep that free flying mode and the code, you should also make a copy of the project and save. Okay, we're going to skip that. I'm going to go to that later. If you download the source code for this chapter, you'll find free flying camera code that you just created in the folder called Flying Camera. The code will be written and used through the rest of this chapter, and it's located with the source code as well in the folder called 3D Game. Okay, so as we can look here, some of the codes, okay, and as you can see, I'm not going to get totally into detail here, but I'm going to show you guys some of these lines. Just move forward and backward. If keyboard get state is key down, keys W. That means forward. Okay, that's it. That's a state. Camera position plus equals camera direction times speed. If keyboard get state is key down S, camera position minus equals camera direction times speed. So basically what this is saying is that if you're pressing W, okay, on the keyboard, or this could be also on a Xbox 360 controller or Xbox One controller, so that would be W. So that would be forward, and then that would be back. So if W, which would be if, get state, so it's polling the state, which would be up, okay? And that is this line of code, okay? But we're just using keyboard here instead of gamepad. Now you can change that to gamepad, and then the functions are already in C# for gamepad. And you can also import custom pads as well. Windows can also import them. And so the difference between the keyboard and this would be if gamepad get state is, so let's just say gamepad analog, right? So gamepad analog get state is press forward, okay, and that would be that. Instead of W, it would be forward, and that's what the code is telling the game, okay, what to do on screens. And the opposite, okay, keyboard get state, okay, so this would be gamepad, get state. So basically saying, hey, what is the gamepad doing? And if you're pressing down on the analog, it's telling the camera position to go in that direction. And you can change that as well. And depending on how you're writing the code, you can change that as well so that it could be going backwards, or traveling along the X, Y, and the Z axis. You're going to get into X, Y, and Z later. Okay. Then you can also adjust the speed at which that moves here. Now that's just a couple lines of code, but you can see how that gets real technical. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And then here's some more. Okay, move side to side. If keyboard gets state, key down A. So that's going to be left, I'm assuming. And then D, which would be right. Okay. Camera position vector 3. So that's a vector. Camera up. Okay. Is key down, D. So this is get state, is key down, A. Move side to side. And now we've got here coming down, you can roll the camera. So instead of strafing and going forward and backward, or strafing left and right, you can rotate. So you can either have this is rotating, or you could have the second one to rotate. So let's say you want to turn just your head, and this may be strafe and this may be turn. Okay. All of those, instead of being keyboard, okay, all of these will be, see, keyboard. Can actually import that to the gamepad. So this is just a small coding theoretical stuff that we're dealing with here. This is some of the book work that allows me to do it. Now this is very boring. I'm not a great teacher, but I'm just showing you some concepts. Okay. That's excellent.
Top secret RPG Shatterstar games. Hey, check it out, man. I'm doing seamless first person and third person camera. A lot of times people don't know how much it takes to actually get into this gameplay, but my game is going to be a first person, third person adventure. And as you can see, I'm getting my first person camera down here and my third person camera, you guys saw it earlier. I'm just working on it piece by piece, man. And eventually, you guys, this whole game will come together. So thanks for all your support. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching and subscribe.
Coding can be also very useful for more than just games. Okay, they have things such as drones. This is one of my drones here. So on a Snaptane, you can also code. Okay, things like drones, apps in phones, things of that nature. Okay. Oh shit. All right. Okay, now these are controllers for the drone, so you can always have that as well. This is one of my drawing tablets that I use to create in-game textures, draw 3D models, this type of thing here. Okay, got shortcuts here, and this is the drawing pad surface. Okay. And basically, you use your stylus to draw, okay, and color and shade here, okay. Then you can add your artwork to the game. Now over to Ron Penton's book. I think this is a great book. Okay, it says beginning C# game programming here. And it's for beginners, but it has a lot of intermediate concepts and a lot of advanced concepts here. A lot of stuff to be learned in C#. Basically, XNA is doing that as well. C#. They have other C# is not just one language. It has multiple focus languages in C#. I've got it bookmarked here because for the purpose of this video, I wanted to show you guys array. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what an array. So,
I'm going to try the shotgun. I'm going to go to the shotgun's brain. Alright, now we're in shotgun brain. Alright, shotgun is item. Equals true. Equipped. Campaign, camera switch equal to false, and campaign inventory menu. Left trigger, zoom equals true. Else zoom equals false. Zoom equals to true. First person. Out control should track socket from camera gizmo. Camera gizmo is there. I don't know what that's all about. So here it is. When me light damage equals campaign player light damage plus damage. Wait. Here we go. Weight equals. Me is the gun. Okay, so in this particular variable, me is gun. Me equals value equals 600. Me weight equals 4. Me level requirement equals 2. So that's how we're having to kill the rats, right? So the level requirement requires 2 to even use the shotgun. I don't know if that's what we want to do when the main game is released, but I'm going to keep it there just for the heck of it. But for the visual scene, I guess we can go in here and we can change that to 1. So we'll go in and we'll change that to 1. Now, level 1 is the only requirement. Level requirement to use shotgun. Let's take the weight down. Okay, let's take the weight down. And the reason I'm saying this is because, hey, I'm running around trying to test this stuff, right? So let's cut the weight in half and let's see if it has any difference. Have 2 variables. Okay, let's go. 2. Although new number. Okay, so now E, the gun, right? The gun. Weight equals 2. E, level requirement equals 1. E, condition, once me condition equals 100. Equipped or held in inventory, started to campaign carry weight increment by 1. Okay. This is, I'm gonna go take a look at some of this. It's 70 lines of code. Okay, so.
all right, arrays. You know, I really can't believe it's taking me this long to get to arrays when I say C# is one hell of a complex language. Arrays are containers that allow you to store many objects in them. Basically, you need some way to store lots of data, and using plain variables to store all of your game objects becomes very tedious very quickly. Spaceship S1, okay. Spaceship S2, meh. Spaceship S3, okay, this is getting annoying. Spaceship S20, my fingers hurt. Spaceship S42, dear Lord, make it stop. Okay, so this is basically an idea of how some of these lines of code will become so cumbersome. You know, you could, with an array, take what, if you tried to code it by yourself, let's just say it had 100 lines of code, you could cut that with an array and variabling with the array with certain functions inside of the array. You could cut that down, okay, to, let's just say, either 50% or even a quarter of what that original 100 what that original 100 lines of code would have been. And this is going to help out your game significantly is optimization, frames per second, and just kind of knocking out glitches, and so that you don't have to be all day trying to figure this shit out. Excuse my language. That's a terrible way of storing your game data. Don't do that ever. What did he say? Do not do that ever. I'm agreeing with them because that is going to overwhelm your coding. Or I will send a rabbit squirrel to your house to chew the power cable of your coding computer right before you hit save after you spent the past 10 hours coding in a Mountain Dew inspired frenzy. I mean it. Whoa, that's bad. 10 hours of coding and then I ain't save. Oh man, I'm pissed off. Instead of doing all that stupid typing, create an array, which is a chunk of data that you can access by number. Basic array example. Here's an example of using array.
ShatterstarGames.com. Prototype mounts 1.0. Thanks everybody tuning back in. I want to show you guys animal mounting. I've got a coding error here. I've already got the code on the wolf for the mounting. However, I'm not being able to mount him, although he thinks that I'm currently mounted. Hence, that's why I'm controlling him and my character at the same time. This is a coding error, it's a bug that's in the code. I'm going to go back into this code and change the it variable to the actual character that I'm on and see if that has any effect. Okay, guys, I've revised the code. Here it is. And voila, we've mounted our wolf. We're going to take him out for a ride. I'm in first person. As you can see, I've got my sway here on first person and on third person. We're working on getting the reins set up here so that you can actually see the reins, but I think the character rides the wolf pretty good with the revised code. Thanks for checking us out. Shatterstar Games. Don't forget to subscribe at ShatterstarGames.com.
Enter here, array equals new, integer 10, array 0 equals 0, first item is 0, array 1 equals 10, second item is 10, array 9 equals 90, last item is 90. So that's how you can add classes basically into the array. So now that you have 10 integers, you can access them easily by using the bracket notation after the name of the array.
See, that's what it was. Global at food. Here we go. Global at food. And say you guys that love code, you can see what I have here. I'll read the code out for you guys. Equals true. Light damage equals campaign player light damage. Medium damage equals campaign player medium damage. Heavy damage equals campaign player heavy damage. Value equals 0. Value equals 1. Double requirement 1. Let's speak condition. Alright. As you guys can see, I know that's probably boring you to death. There he is. I'll show you guys how that works. Okay, so actually I could actually copy this, but other than that, right? Delete that whole entire page. Global on the tags. Why does it have to be exact? Microsoft, don't do me like this. It should be able to pick up on the first. That is so stupid. So I have to put.
See that? All right. Arrays use zero-based indexing, meaning that the first object in any array has an index of 0 rather than 1, as many would suspect. This means that the array in the previous example has valid indexes of 0 through 9, and 10 is invalid. See? 10 valid. All right. This makes your code run smoother too. An array. What is an array? An array, like I said before, is just a chunk of data When you write the following code, it says that you're creating a variable named A, which is a reference to an array of integers. Integer A. Okay, and so integer, brackets, number, variable A. All arrays are reference types, which means you must use the new keyword to actually create an array. So A equals new integer 8. That line of code creates a new array of 8 integers as shown in figure 4.4. So now this is figure 4.4. This is A, okay? New integer 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a basic array. And this shows the array in 8 integers. For all intents and purposes, you can treat A just like any other reference type. Here's some code showing you how you can use the arrays.
That makes it a lot faster. Always. Right, so what I'm doing here is, once I do this, okay, once I do this once, I only have to do it that one time. Right? So, give me a second. I know this is tedious watching me select food on each one of these apples, but there is an end to this. There is an end to it. ShatterStarGames.com, game dev. Hey, what's up? Big shout out to everybody. ShatterStarGames.com on YouTube, STAR Games on Twitter. You know the rest. Hey, what's up, man? Come through, subscribe. Big shout out to my guy, All Savage. All Savage is here today with our new adventure MOBA. Okay, so this is a coding error. He's got a character select screen. I am number 2 character. He's copying over the selection pad. As you can see, this is a coder's error going wild. Look at all those characters just popping out of there. You know what I mean? So it's not as easy as it looks, baby. Thanks for checking us out. ShatterStarGames.com. Game dev.
The array in 8 integers. For all intents and purposes, you can treat A just like any other reference type. Here's some code showing you how you can use the arrays. So let's go back and say integer, bracket, A equals new integer 10. Integer B equals A. B points to the same array now. Okay, see now, all right, it makes perfect sense now. See, now because now A is the new integer, the new variable, and then B now is pointing to that same array. It's the new array. All right.
Okay, we're about halfway there. I'm gonna go grab me an apple here. Alright, I just ate me an apple here. Now I'm gonna go back. Gotta find me some more rats. There we go. Just find the rat. Go. Another rat bites the digital dust. Okay, we're almost at level 2. I'll figure another 2 rats and we'll be at level 2. Currently, I've got the shotgun set that you cannot use it until you level 2. But right now, I'm just trying to test out the shotgun's prowess, how many shots it takes to kill certain things. So right now, we're just going to test out the shotgun for now. So if you give me a second here, one more of these dirty rats. And we'll get a chance to test out the shotgun. As you can see, we got all these little desert bunnies. I'll eventually have it set so that as of now, currently, we don't have aiming system set up. But I didn't use a rat for any particular reason. It's simply because,
the array is 8 integers. Okay. For all intents and purposes, you can treat A just like any other reference type. Here's some code showing you how you can use the arrays. So let's go back to integer bracket A equals new integer 10. Integer B equals A. B points to the same array now. Okay, see now, all right, it makes perfect sense now. See, now because now A is the new integer, the new variable, and then B now is pointing to that same array. It's the new array. All right.
My guy's getting thirsty now, so I'll go over here and grab a bottle of water.
Real simple stuff, but it seems advanced. And I'm gonna show you guys some of the things here with inheritance. So this is like a space game we're making, right? So spaceship. Okay, now we're inside of an array. Okay, spaceship. S equals new spaceship 4. Now this is inheritance. Okay. Now, see, combat ship, cargo ship. Cargo ship, combat ship. For integer equals 0. For I plus plus. All right, here we go. There's another one. S space to spaceship. Laser hit each ship. Okay. This code creates an array for 4 spaceships and then fills it in with 2 cargo ships and 2 combat ships. The last 2 lines show you for a loop that goes through the array and hits every ship with a laser beam. Okay, laser hit each ship.
There we go. Now, as you can see, guys, I've got 2 separate looks here. This is the look of the shotgun, right? You're just in first person, right? This is the look. There's your reticle. Now, my reticle on the eye. Now, when I hold down L, okay, left trigger, I can strafe left and right still. I can go forward, I can go back, and I can turn. Okay, and this is going to be the idea. So I want this to turn red when it's on animals. Well, let's see. How many shots does it take to take out the rats? And line them up. Get 2 for 1. 2 shots.
Things here with inheritance. So this is like a space game we're making, right? So spaceship. Okay, now we're inside of an array. Okay, spaceship. S equals new spaceship 4. Now this is inheritance. Okay. Now, see, combat ship, cargo ship. Cargo ship, combat ship. For integer equals 0. For I plus plus. All right, here we go. There's another one. S space to spaceship. Laser hit each ship. Okay. This code creates an array for 4 spaceships and then fills it in with 2 cargo ships and 2 combat ships. The last 2 lines show you for a loop that goes through the array and hits every ship with a laser beam. Okay, laser hit each ship. Okay, this works beautifully because the compiler knows that all spaceships know how to get hit with a laser, and it doesn't care whether the spaceship is a combat ship or a cargo ship. Meaning, in the array now, you have basically taught the game that all ships can be hit and encoded that within the array without having to individually code each individual ship. And I don't know how many times I tell people that this is very important, because this is going to save you lines of code. And if you have to put too much code, the code is too cumbersome, you're going to have bugs, you're going to have delays, you're going to have compiling problems, your game is going to be humongous, optimization problems, frames per second problems, graphics problems. Man, don't get me started. Bugs, it's ridiculous. So far, all we've shown are one-dimensional arrays. If you know your geometry, you know that something in one dimension can only have a length defined. There's no width or height. In one dimension, you're pretty much limited to drawing straight lines. It's the same thing with arrays. A one-dimensional array can be viewed as a straight line. If you take the geometry concept and expand it to 2 and 3 dimensions, you can imagine arrays looking like those in figure 4.6. A 2D array can be thought of as a square grid like a chessboard. A 3D array can be thought of as a voluminous grid, much like a Rubik's Cube. You can have arrays of other dimensions such as 4D, 5D, or even up to 32D, but for most people, visualizing such arrays can be quite difficult, and they're really not seeing much. The easy way, the way C# differs from C, C++, and Java in dealing with multidimensional arrays, if you're already familiar with those languages, then this may throw you off a little, but it's really not difficult. So we'll take a look at some of the arrays here. Obviously, this figure shows you a visual layout of 3 different dimensional arrays. Okay, so you got 1D, just left to right. Okay, then we got 2D, we got height and length. Okay, and then we have 3D, where we have height, length, and depth. You see what I'm saying? So that would be Y, that would be X, that would be Z. So Y, X, and Z. Okay, these 3 things will become very important in a 3D array or a 3D voluminous space. So without further ado, enough of the bookwork. I'm going to show you guys. I know it's boring. I'm going to show you guys. Put my bookmark back in. I'm going to show you guys how to basically go about and do some of this stuff on the computer, and then we'll go back and I'll try to do some 3D modeling, but we're gonna keep it very, 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 very short here today. So what I'm gonna do is gonna go over now to some of the game's visual components and show you some of the stuff on C# and give you guys a little bit of visuals. So give me a second.
Be sure to follow us at ShatterStarGames.com. Thanks. Hey, this is Shattered over at Shatterstar Games. And if you want more game reviews, game development, game throughs, tech tips, PC gaming, and more, make sure you hit the subscribe. Subscribe here at Shatterstar Games. You can also hit the subscribe button on your bottom right, and for cell phone users, on the very bottom. So check it out. Thanks, and hit subscribe. Shatterstar Games.